As will probably be the case for this video and every other video for the next 6 months, it's a wet day in the north, an incredibly wet day in the north. But it's a good day because I've got the future GT project back. My blue Japanese import Z3 has just been at Duke Street Garage in Rochdale having the full Dinitrol treatment. It is now protected from wet days in the north. All the salt, all the muck, all the grime. This was a super solid car and I want it to stay that way for the rest of its life. And so now it is incredibly well protected. I'll post some photos on the screen because I think they've done a fantastic job. It wasn't cheap. I paid £2,000 for this car. I've just paid £900 including VAT to get it protected. But like I say, these cars, both the what will be the Spider, what do you want to call it, the convertible, and what will ultimately be a hardtop GT, they're probably going to be my cars for life, so it's worth investing a bit in looking after them. On which note, big thanks to Cookie Crasby, sorry, I don't know your real name, in the comments, for the feedback on the sills. Pointed out that when I'm wire wheeling away rust, if it just goes black, it's coming back. I think I heard that on the Restore It channel at some point. And so what I actually need to do is hit it with something slightly more forceful, wire wheel, if not wire wheel, a flap disc if I'm careful, or some sort of prep disc to get it back down to bare metal. Even with rust converter, that rust will come back if I don't do more on it. So actually I'm going to take that paint off again, I'm going to treat it properly and then spray it up again to protect it. So thank you for that. I'm a rank amateur about this. I've been playing with cars on and off for like 25 years. Crikey, can that be right? Yeah, it is. But never professionally, never done that much of it, never done any real restoration other than trying to get my Volkswagen Beetle to get through yet another MOT when I was a teenager. So thank you, and more comments, tips, help like that, really, really welcome. Anyway, it's a miserable day, it's cold. I'll be honest, I don't fancy getting all filthy for the 3rd time this week. No innuendo intended. But this is going to be my daily driver now, so I'm just going to do a little bit of tidying up to get this perfect. First, a couple of exterior bits. I've wiped the car down with a fresh carbon fibre towel. Thank you, Stretton. But there's a minor little scuffs here and on the outside. Now, obviously, this body's going to be changed at some point, so I'm not going to get this professionally resprayed. But I am just going to touch those and that little chip in with a repair pen just to protect it and keep it looking nice at a distance. Picked up a matched repair pen from autocolors.co.uk, which I hope is good. I haven't seen any reviews of these guys, but it seemed like a sensible price. It's Montreal blue, which is the colour of this car. A colour that I have to say I'm kind of in love with. Will probably keep when this becomes the GT. But yeah, I'm not a great painter, so let's see how this goes. There we go. Not perfect, but less noticeable at a distance. I know some of these look like scratches, but they're not. Down here. I could probably make it better with a little bit of sandpaper or something. But do you know what? It's fine. You're not going to notice it at a distance. It's protected. I'll have to see it in the daylight to know if it's a good colour match. It's hard to say until it's dried, until it's in the light, but that'll do for now. So that's the outside. Here's a clue to what might be next, or at least one of the things that's next. Even though it's low mileage, those carpets are a bit filthy. So I thought I might test out the Vax Spotwash I bought mainly for doing my wife's car, which is filthy. Wife's car, family car to be fair, that needs a really good clean. And I think it'll be useful for restoring the beige carpets out of this car as well. But let's give them a try on this. I'm going to follow Stretton from M539 Restorations tip. See if I can get a brush on a drill, give it a good scrub, and then run over it with the spot wash. But first I'm going to pull this seat out because these seats need a good clean as well. Driver's seat out, pretty straightforward. You can see it's kind of filthy and needs a good clean. First things first, you use the electric controls to shift the seat all the way back, take off the two nuts at the front, shift it all the way forward, take out the two 16mm bolts at the back, so well, 16mm head, 13mm head at the front. Then disconnect the battery so that you don't trigger airbags and risk any error warning lights on the display. Disconnect the wiring and undo the 16mm bolt, or M16 head, 16mm head that holds the seatbelt on. The seatbelt doesn't retract very well, so I'm going to give that a bit of a clean while it's out. Thank you to the previous owner, hello mate, for leaving me lots of money down the side of the seat. Time to pull all that out and give it a vacuum and a clean. That's the worst vacuumed out. Now to get some shampoo spray in there, work it in with a drill brush, and then wet vac it out. Using this stuff that I picked up in the local motor factors, no idea if it's any good. Moisten the carpet a little bit with some water spray, and then just put some of the foam down. Crikey, I can't speak today. And we've got a drill brush to see what it does. Start with some of the bits under the seat, make sure it's all fast. Yeah. Give me a second. My hacked together Makita drill is a little bit funky these days. I'm going to actually have to buy a decent drill soon, because I have to hold this with both hands in order to make it work. Yeah, again, no innuendo intended. Judging by the colour that's gone in places, that was worth doing. Obviously I'll have to properly dry this out. I'm hoping for some slightly better weather this weekend. Worst case, bring this here, leave it to dry out for a day. I'll put the dehumidifier in it, or put the dehumidifier in it at home. We shall see. One way or another we'll get this nice and dry again, despite the weather. So, time for the Vax. This is a Vax Spotwash Duo that I picked up again on eBay for 80 quid, I think, because it had a damaged box. Maybe slightly less than that. No, I think it was about 80 quid. And I've quite fancied one of these for ages, partly because I have children and therefore this thing could be useful, and partly, as I say, because the family car needs a really good clean. So let's see how it does. You're meant to use warm water, and obviously it comes with a cleaning solution. I've not used those since I've already got the foam. Don't need to add extra detergent to it, I don't think. And I don't have access to warm water unless I boil the kettle, so cold water I'll have to do. There we go. One nice clean shiny cockpit with nice clean carpets and clean seats. If you're wondering what this wire is, there's a GPS speedo on there converting the, well, it doesn't convert, but gives me miles per hour in a weird little head-up display. They're quite useful since this is in kilometers because it's a Japanese car. But yeah, some good progress. Feels like a nice, oh God, I'm going to use that cliche, a nice place to be. If you want to know whether it's worth cleaning those carpets, that's the colour of the water that came out of them. There. That's it for this episode. Got to run home, got things to do. But I'll do it in a nice clean car. So that's a good start. A clean car that's protected from the elements. Next up on the GT project, I'll be working on the drivetrain. So I'll be scanning in the IS300 motor and inverter and starting to work out how those fit. I'll be doing the same for my new battery modules and thinking about those. Ideally scanning under the bonnet of here, actually, where I've got a nice empty engine bay and working out how it's all going to fit together, since this should be the same as this one, which is where the IS300 is going to go. But in the meantime, I'll be driving this. I'll be driving my nice clean car for a few months while I get that one back on the road. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.